Hey everybody, this is Applicable Dave. Today we are playing a game in Plaza, and this is Team Deathmatch. I want you guys to stick around for the duration of the match because I wanted to show you something rather interesting. About halfway through the match, I noticed that my teammates disappear, and I'll have to show you when the time comes, but in the meantime, I wanted to talk to you about something I've noticed in the news lately. Some of you may have heard about the tornadoes that's been going on in Oklahoma, and just a bit of recap, I wanted to share some stats with you. As of today, there's been reports of at least 5 tornadoes all across Oklahoma. There's been many people injured and at least 5 fatalities from today alone. Now you can imagine the winds being extremely crazy with having 200 miles per hour gusts everywhere. I for one am very thankful for not having to worry about that stuff too much, seeing as I live in California. I guess all I have to worry about is a little rain here and there and maybe an earthquake or two. Although I can't help but feel bad for the people who live there who actually have to deal with all of that. Because when you think about it, it's not just the tornadoes, it's not just the wind, it's a lot more than that than people realize. And granted, I'm sure a lot of you guys may know the situation, I'm sure you guys have experienced it maybe once or twice in your life, but a lot of people don't. They think it's just a tornado, yeah, big deal. Yes, tornadoes are a big deal, but then there's also the traffic that people start to panic and, you know, people want to get to safety, which is understandable. And then there's also the floods. I mean, you can't just expect it to rain and have heavy storms without having any consequences or any repercussion because of it. So it's been reported that there's floods pretty much everywhere in Oklahoma. That's pretty sad. And not to mention the massive power outage all across Oklahoma. I think yesterday, it was reported that 80,000 people were without electricity. Imagine going through just that alone, not having electricity. That's pretty bad. I remember living in the Philippines for a number of years, and this was the time when Mount Pinatubo erupted. If you guys don't know anything about that, you can Google it. I'm sure you can find something. But that volcano, it was a volcano, and it was relatively close to where I was. Thank God it wasn't that close enough to where lava would spew out and overrun our city, but it was close enough to where all the ash and all the debris and all the pebbles and sand came down on us. I remember waking up because I was a lazy kid and I was sleeping all the time, and I was sleeping around noon, and I woke up and everybody was gathered around the television watching the news, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And all of a sudden it got dark. The sky got dark, and then a few minutes later it started raining. At least I thought it was rain. It was actually the ash, the rocks, and all the debris that was coming down from the volcano and onto our lot, the streets, on the roof and everything. It was really loud and frankly I was terrified, and everybody thought it was the end of the world and it was the apocalypse and everything like that, but everything was dark. It was immediate night. I've never seen anything like that before. It was crazy. And it turned out after everything settled down, it was still hard to breathe. You had to have like dust masks and everything, and we had to immediately shovel off all the ash and everything else from the roof because it was about to cave in and everything. And so everywhere we went around our city, and even outside the limits of our city, there was ash everywhere. The base where we stayed at was shut down. Some of the schools were shut down, and the power was out for months. And I thought this is the end of the world because no TV, no electricity, no nothing. But I think I need to pause real quick to explain what's going on here in the match. As you can see here, these are all my teammates, and they're all camping. They got their trophies up, their riot shields. They deliberately did this on purpose. I was all trying to fight all the bad guys in the bottom, trying to get as many kills as I could, and all of a sudden, I thought, okay, where's my team? So later on, I decided I was tired of waiting, I was tired of camping with these guys, so I decided to drop down and try to get some kills because I didn't want to just stand there and do nothing. But it ended up backfiring because, yes, you know, the whole enemy team was out there, and I figured I wanted to be Rambo and try to get some kills, but they all obliterated me, basically. And that kind of ruined my KD because I was doing pretty good for a while, and then when I dropped down, that's when I got slaughtered. So back to what I was talking about, the tornadoes and me being in the Philippines with the volcano. I know how rough it can get as far as having a natural disaster and everything, but what I went through was not it wasn't near what people are going through in Oklahoma, because people have to deal with death, they have to deal with having their homes taken away because of the natural disaster and because of the wind, and people's cars are ruined. Basically, they have to start from scratch again, for the most part. Those who are in a shelter, or those who are basically fleeing the weathers, it's hard for them because they eventually have to go back to where they were and find out or see how their property has been damaged and basically ruined. So here's my question to you. Have you guys gone through anything like that before? Have you been in a tornado or in an area where a tornado struck? What experiences have you guys gone through before? But more importantly, what I really want to know is what happens after that. I mean, if you've gone through something like that, I'm sure your life has been changed and it's never been the same. But I mean, like, how do you go back to a normal life? Yeah, my controller ran out of batteries. But do you guys try to move away? Or do you guys try to find somewhere else to live? Or do you guys go back to where you were and try to rebuild, somehow raise money to get things taken care of? I really want to know how you guys cope with it or how you guys move on from it. If you guys have experienced that before, or maybe it's something that comes on a regular basis. I hope not, but I know that some states go through that stuff on a regular basis. And like I said, I'm very thankful that I live in California and tornadoes aren't a regular thing here. So let me know what you guys think. I'm really interested in what you guys have to say. Maybe some of you guys who live overseas, maybe you guys have a similar situation, or maybe you guys have a different situation. Let me know, okay? One thing I have noticed is that whenever a crisis like this happens, it's amazing how many people stick their neck out and try to help out and be the good Samaritan. It's just so awesome to see how people shine in situations like this, and they put themselves last so that they can help other people who are in need, people who are going through a lot of trauma and their homes getting taken away. And there's people who volunteer not expecting to get paid back and do the right thing. And that's what I like about America. We may be really consumed with our television or our selfish gain and everything, but when there's a crisis like that, we pull together and we become stronger, as a whole, and we actually become united. And it's awesome how it's like by default we're like that. It's really weird, but in a good way. I mean, we can be doing our own thing, minding our own business, and all of a sudden a crisis happens, and then we stop what we're doing and we say, "Hey, there's something that's bigger than us, and something that needs to be tended to, and we're not gonna stand here idly and watch other people suffer, but we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that people are being helped." So right now we are almost at the end of the game. I'm still running around with my shotgun trying to find some enemies to kill. And my shotgun has served me well, although I am not finding any enemies. So I'll just keep searching, trying to go around, trying to be on the move.
Friendly UAV inbound.
And so right now I am rocking my Remington with long barrel and I believe quick draw. Not quite sure, but I'm rocking the wild card overkill. So I have a primary secondary actually. And I believe it's the Vector. And so I started hearing some sniper rifles going off, and I see some red dots, so I try to climb, and without even thinking, I start shooting people with my shotgun. And they're basically doing the same thing as my team. They're basically camping on the top of the roof. And by the way, they called in their attack dogs, so I'm running. I need to get out of there. So I'm trying to find I'll try to switch my gun so I can run faster, and so I'm just I did not want to get attacked by the dogs being by myself. Seeing as I'm the only guy in our team running around like a doofus. So I try to climb up, and guess what? They're all there again. But I've played my fair share of Call of Duty, and I've never seen anything like this. I've seen videos where the whole team just basically tries to troll everybody else, and they try to hide in a certain place just to make a video. But I mean, these guys, I don't know if they were making a video or they were just boosting or what, because this is a poor. I mean, I guess it gets them wins, but I mean, this is not sportsman-like. I mean, people complain about camping, people complain about target finders, and people running around with shotguns, but I think this takes the cake. And so right now I'm at a crossroads. Either stick with these guys and go out like a loser, or go down there and get killed by a mob of bad guys. And so I am just waiting around, trying to see if there's anybody I can kill. Walking around, these guys are in my way. And even in camping terms, I'm the only one who's moving around. Everybody's just standing still, trying to keep their post. So I find somebody and I was like, no, forget this. I'm gonna try to kill this guy, and I did. But then there's the other guy. So I respawn, and there's like 5 seconds left, and I'm desperately looking for somebody to kill. Nope. Well, that's it for the gameplay, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please make sure you leave your comments down below, like this video, and subscribe. Alright, I'll catch you at the next video. Bye-bye.